The Bourbon Dynasty is one of the most influential royal families in European history, with roots stretching back to the Middle Ages. Originating in France, the Bourbons went on to rule several European states, including France, Spain, Naples, Sicily, and Parma. Their reigns were marked by political reforms, wars, colonial expansion, and significant contributions to European culture and history. Origins and early history. The Bourbon family's lineage can be traced to the House of Capet, France's oldest royal house. The dynasty began with Robert, Count of Clermont, the sixth son of King Louis IX, St. Louis. Through his marriage to Beatrix of Bourbon, Robert acquired the Bourbon estate, which later became the foundation of the dynasty's name. Over time, the Bourbons rose from provincial lords to powerful nobles within France, eventually claiming the French throne in the late 16th century. Rise to the French throne. The Bourbons' ascent to the French throne occurred during one of the most turbulent periods in French history, the Wars of Religion, 1562 to 1598. After the extinction of the Valois dynasty, Henry of Navarre, a Protestant prince of the Bourbon family, became the legitimate heir to the throne. Despite facing opposition due to his religion, Henry converted to Catholicism, famously declaring, "Paris is well worth a mess." He was crowned King Henry IV of France in 1589, marking the beginning of Bourbon rule in France. Henry IV, founder of the Bourbon monarchy. Henry IV, 1589 to 1610, was a pragmatic and reformist king. His reign brought stability after decades of religious conflict. He issued the Edict of Nantes in 1598, granting religious freedom to Protestants and ending the civil wars. Economically, he worked to rebuild France's infrastructure, improve agriculture, and strengthen royal authority. Henry's efforts restored national unity and laid the groundwork for the centralized monarchy that his successors would develop. Louis XIII and Cardinal Richelieu. Henry IV's son, Louis XIII, 1610 to 1643, ascended the throne as a young boy. His reign was dominated by the influence of Cardinal Richelieu, his chief minister. Richelieu aimed to consolidate royal power, weaken the influence of the nobility, and diminish the political autonomy of the Huguenots, French Protestants. Under their leadership, France emerged as a strong centralized state. The foundations of absolutism, a system in which the king held absolute power, were firmly established during this era. Louis XIV, the Sun King and the peak of Bourbon power. The reign of Louis XIV, 1643 to 1715, also known as the Sun King, represents the height of Bourbon authority. He ruled for over 70 years, the longest in European history. Louis XIV centralized power completely around himself, famously stating, "L'État, c'est moi, I am the state." He built the magnificent Palace of Versailles, symbolizing the grandeur and absolute power of the monarchy. His reign saw France become the most powerful nation in Europe, both militarily and culturally. However, his costly wars and extravagant spending drained the treasury and sowed the seeds of future discontent. The decline under Louis XV and Louis XVI. Louis XIV was succeeded by his great-grandson Louis XV, 1715 to 1774, whose reign was marked by internal corruption, economic challenges, and growing discontent among the people. Despite moments of peace and prosperity, France's involvement in wars like the Seven Years' War, 1756 to 1763, weakened the country and damaged its economy. His successor, Louis XVI, 1774 to 1793, inherited a nation on the brink of crisis. His indecisiveness, combined with economic mismanagement and rising revolutionary sentiments, led to the French Revolution. In 1793, Louis XVI was executed by guillotine, marking the end of Bourbon rule in France at least temporarily. Restoration and fall. After the fall of Napoleon Bonaparte in 1814, the Bourbon monarchy was restored with Louis XVIII, brother of Louis XVI, ascending the throne. This Bourbon restoration aimed to reconcile monarchical rule with some revolutionary principles. However, the monarchy remained unpopular among Republicans and liberals. Louis XVIII was succeeded by Charles X, whose reactionary policies led to the July Revolution of 1830, forcing him to abdicate. This revolution ended the main Bourbon line's rule in France, replaced by the Orleans branch, a junior line of the family. The Bourbon Dynasty in Spain. The Bourbon legacy extended beyond France. In 1700, following the death of the childless Charles II of Spain, Philip V, grandson of Louis XIV, became King of Spain, beginning the Spanish Bourbon dynasty. The Bourbons of Spain ruled intermittently through wars, republics, and restorations. Today, the current Spanish monarchy, represented by King Felipe VI, is still part of the Bourbon family, making it one of Europe's oldest continuous dynasties. Influence and legacy. The Bourbon dynasty profoundly shaped European politics, culture, and governance. Their reigns influenced the development of absolutism, enlightened despotism, and modern statecraft. Architecturally, their era gave rise to monumental structures like Versailles and the royal palaces of Madrid. Their rule also left lasting marks on the arts, science, and diplomacy of Europe. Conclusion. The Bourbon dynasty stands as a symbol of both royal grandeur and decline. From the unifying rule of Henry IV to the opulent reign of Louis XIV and the tragic fall of Louis XVI, the Bourbon story encapsulates the evolution of monarchy in Europe. Though their direct rule in France ended in revolution, their influence endures through the Spanish crown and the cultural legacies they left behind. The Bourbons remain an enduring reminder of the complexities of power, tradition, and change in European history.